This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us to start your Sunday. I'm Morgan Romero. Topping headlines this morning, first responders self-quarantine after coming into contact with the first coronavirus case in Clark County. Plus, time is running out to snag this season's Girl Scout cookies. There's a new one this year too, by the way. Hear from a local troupe making their final sales pitch. Let's start things off with Keely Chalmers and a check of your forecast. It's looking different today than it was yesterday, right?
Yeah, we're going to have much drier weather out there today. Starting the day off with some certainly chilly temperatures and some fog in some areas. We're at 39 degrees here in the metro area. The winds are light, so if there is fog out there because of the chilly temperatures, some of that could be freezing. Something to look out for when you're heading out on the roads this morning. So here's a look at your weather headlines. Mainly dry conditions today, so different than yesterday. In fact, we're looking mainly dry for much of the week. A chilly start to the morning. We talked about that. And with metro area temperatures between about 30 to 33, a little bit warmer right now, but we are going to drop in the next hour. Again, expect a little bit of that freezing fog, a little frost out there as well. Could make for some slick conditions out on the roadways. But again, we do have plenty of sunshine, not only in the forecast for later on today, but also the extended forecast. We'll talk more about that coming up. Morgan.
All right, thanks, Keely. 4 Clark County first responders were asked to stay home after treating the county's first COVID-19 patient. 2 are firefighters with District 6. The other 2 are with AMR. They weren't showing any symptoms of the virus, but out of an abundance of caution, they were asked to stay home as health officials monitor them. This news shouldn't worry you, though. District 6 is taking a lot of precautions. If you have a medical emergency, the chief says you should still feel comfortable calling.
The fire service is here 24/7, and so it's our job to respond when people need help, and that's what we will continue to do. It's my firefighters' jobs to ensure that the community stays healthy, and it's my job to make sure that my firefighters are healthy so that we can continue to do that.
The patient they treated is 70 years old, and Clark County Public Health says he's in isolation right now at Peace Health Southwest Medical Center. They're trying to figure out how he got it.
This person had not traveled. So that means they acquired their infection in Clark County, and that means that there's some evidence now that we have community transmission within Clark County.
While it is the first case of COVID-19 in Clark County, Washington is really the epicenter of the outbreak in the United States. So far, health officials say 16 people have died there. The majority are in King County and connected to an outbreak at a long-term care facility in Kirkland, Washington. Statewide, 102 people have tested positive for the virus. Meanwhile, in Oregon, no one has died from coronavirus, but 4 new presumptive positive cases were announced yesterday. That brings the total here to 7. Nationwide, 19 people have died from the virus, and there are more than 400 confirmed cases so far. As we see numbers grow, health officials are hammering home the importance of prevention. We can't say it enough. Wash your hands a lot for at least 20 seconds with soap and water. And if you don't have soap, use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your face, and please stay home if you're sick. You can do all of that to protect yourself from the flu as well. Dr. Alan Melnick with the Clark County Health Department stressed the importance of getting your flu shot as more cases of COVID-19 pop up.
So I would plead with people to get the flu shot right now, not only to protect themselves and their loved ones, but also to reduce the strain on hospital and healthcare resources.
He says if COVID-19 ramps up in our area, there will be a strain on hospitals, ERs, and clinics. Anything we can do to prevent other diseases that put a strain on those resources will really help. And we will no doubt be reporting on the coronavirus for weeks to come, as we have for the last month. We want to make sure to tell you what we know to help calm any fears you might have. Laurel Porter shares the approach we plan to take here at KGW.
Fear. When we act on it, only it, we tend to overreact and under-prepare. As we move forward with our reporting, we don't want to feed that fear by updating numbers with no context or providing stories with no perspective. Local news has often been criticized for trying to sensationalize and scare, creating clickable headlines designed to frighten rather than inform. In our coverage, we've shown you images from around the world. We've tried to separate them and provide a clear picture of what's happening right here in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Other parts of the Pacific Northwest have been hit hard, and it's scary. Since fear cannot and will not be our goal, we will seek experts, ask informed questions, expect reasoned answers, and hold those in power accountable. We will not guess, speculate, or assume. At least that's our goal. If you see us falter, let us know. If you don't get an answer, let us know. We won't get better unless we hold ourselves out there, hold ourselves accountable, and admit when we fail. We hope in hearing the facts, you can deal with the fear and keep your daily routines and live life fully. Fear. If it is fear of the unknown that frightens us most, then why not start by reporting on nothing less and nothing more than what we know?
You can catch up on all of our stories about the coronavirus outbreak right now. Just head over to kgw.com/facts, not fear. Family and friends grieving after a horrible, deadly crash in Clark County. We're learning more about the 3 people killed in a head-on collision. The crash happened Friday afternoon on State Route 503 between Brush Prairie and Battleground. We're told a car heading north crossed over into the southbound lanes to get around traffic and hit a minivan head-on. The van's driver, 31-year-old Rosa Wilson, died, as did her 5-year-old daughter, Juniper Kate. Wilson's 7-year-old son and 3-year-old daughter were badly hurt and are in the hospital. The driver of the other car, 41-year-old Christy Byers, was also killed.
It's such a tragedy here that we've lost anyone in any collision, but especially when you take it down to a child, and now we have 2 others that are over there fighting for their lives right now with some critical injuries.
A GoFundMe was set up to support the Wilson family, and if you'd like to donate, you can find a link on our website, kgw.com. Walking to raise awareness. Dozens of students gathered at Wilson High School for the school's first Out of the Darkness walk. The goal is to draw attention to suicide prevention and the different mental health resources out there. Junior Mia Sidori spent months planning yesterday's walk.
I personally went to one of these walks last year after my coach committed suicide, and it was very healing and helpful, and I wanted to bring it over here so that everyone could have that same experience if they've ever had to lose somebody.
New CDC data shows in 2018, suicide became the leading cause of death among young Oregonians between 10 and 24 years old. Oregon's ranking jumped from 17th to 11th in the country in terms of youth suicide rates. If you or someone you know needs help, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at the number on your screen. That's 1-800-273-8255. Whether your go-to is Thin Mint, Samoas, or Do-si-dos, get them while you can. Today is actually the last day to stock up on Girl Scout cookies. You've probably seen them outside stores, maybe even on your front steps. My least favorite part when I was a Girl Scout, to be honest. But you can buy them online now, too. Troops in Oregon and Southwest Washington have been selling boxes for the last several weeks. Girl Scouts says more than 2.2 million boxes of cookies have been sold this year. Man, Americans love their Girl Scout cookies. You can make your cookies go the extra mile, though, through the Gift of Caring program. So that means when you buy a box, you can choose to donate a box. This year, Troop 45210 donates boxes to Meals on Wheels and the Human Solutions Shelter.
It's really, really powerful feeling like even as a kid, even being 11 years old, I can still make a difference and like help feed people and help make them have a better home. And I just think it's really cool that I can actually make a difference even at a young age.
Each troop can decide what to do with the money raised from cookie sales. Those cuties from Troop 45210 are planning a special trip to the Oregon coast. And Pac-12 champs for the 7th time in program history, the Oregon Ducks men's basketball team is conference champions. But this time is different because they clinched the title outright in Eugene. That, by the way, hasn't happened since 1945. All the Ducks had to do is get past Stanford. And on senior night, Westland's Peyton Pritchard delivered. He scored 29 points in his final game at Matthew Knight Arena. Oregon won 80-67 to go undefeated at home this season. It also clinches the #1 seed in the Pac-12 tournament. Oregon is the first school in conference history to win championships in football as well as men's and women's basketball in the same year. Just crushing it, those Ducks. Helping people cope with memory loss through music. Coming up in about 12 minutes, we'll tell you about the local choir offering more than just an artistic outlet. But first, Miller Paint's celebrating their 130th anniversary with a refurbished neon sign, first built in the 1930s. We'll be right back.